mysteries of the unknown.
Russ Adams. Best sculpture I've ever done.
Egomaniac.
My man. Another one. Another one.
Another one.
Another one?
Another one. Dude, I could straight up make a song to this.
Yeah,
So before we welcome back to another episode of
Another
the
one.
of the official title. Dude, it feels so real. Welcome back to Into the Layers. We are your hosts, Frank.
Igor.
That's right. And yes, we said that wrong because we don't want to be sued. So I'm Frank, F-R-E-N-K, and this is Igor, not Igor, okay? Get it straight. It's so good to be back. Before I ask you how you are, or you ask me, Nate, I was going to do this before we started. But you know what? Our open and honesty is our policies. You know what? I want a center. You want a center? I don't know how to do it, but
What does that mean?
how do we chill in? Like, there's going to be a tactic, right? To just like a big
Take a breath.
yeah, a lot of manic energy tonight from both of us.
How about this? I was going to do this to you just when we had a pause, but I'll do it to you right now. You want to do like word association?
100%. I'm ready. Let me give you
Another one.
Give me another word association.
I'll just say words,
Okay,
and then you just say what comes to mind.
I love it.
And if it's like,
In anything,
yeah, whatever comes to mind, and then if it's weird, I'll ask you about it. How about that?
I love it. I love it. And I love you taking charge because I got to say, since we've decided together that we're putting out the other two,
Are we?
dude, I ran my beak
I was
on the last
wrong
one.
last time.
Dude, it's 2.5 hours of you giving me a free therapy session just via listening.
Maybe, yeah. Well,
So-
I'll charge you this. I'm charging you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. The joke is this is Blanton's, and any whiskey nerds probably knows what this pour might be. Holy hell.
It's a lot.
It's so good, dude. It's so good. I love that you tried the Elijah Craig barrel proof right after Weller so you could see why people love Weller.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's
ridiculous.
like diesel.
Yeah, right. Okay, sorry. Word association, I like it.
All right, let's do it. Okay. Chamomile.
Calm.
Pyramid.
Esoteric.
Crowbar.
Juveniles.
Ooh.
I got you.
Let's hear that one.
I don't know. I just felt like the only time I've ever seen a crowbar was never to use for, when I first saw them, it was always kids in movies breaking into places.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
Till I was an adult and I was like in a store to buy one. And I felt like the cashier was going to think I'm going to go kill someone. And I'm like, oh, people still just use these to tear out decks? Oh, I didn't know that.
crowbars and contractor bags.
That's
Interesting
it.
purchase.
Yeah, right. Rope, duct tape, shovels, sealable 55-gallon, whatever.
Acid. Let's see. This is okay. Compost.
Useful.
Curtains.
Debatable. I hate curtains. I think they make any room looks like just shitty.
Really?
Yeah, and some people like, no, they dress it up. And I'm like, maybe I'm seeing all the wrong curtains.
I have curtains in my house. Do you know?
I never even noticed. I hate them. I feel like they look old. They look like old country houses. Even if you put them in like this dope, modern, meta-looking place, it just looks...
What would you use? Blinds? Like the...
That's the thing.
mini
Blinds look like
blinds,
shit
dude?
too. I know. I haven't found an alternative.
There's a good... Yeah, you can use the insulating blinds that go up. Those are cool.
It's so funny. In some ways, I feel like you're like this too, the more I dig into you. I like old school shit, but in other ways, I'm a super futurist. Like, why? We're in 2021. If you asked me in 99, right? I'm a little chap, and you're like, are you going to use curtains in your house when you grow up? I'm like, fuck no. In my mansion, I'm going to use smart windows that fog the glass
tint.
when you want.
Yeah,
like,
there you
what
go.
the fuck, dude? It's
Right.
2021.
No, you should do that.
But yeah, I can't.
Windows also go
Forward
the wrong
thinking.
way.
They
They're
do?
vertical, they're like the vertical windows.
Oh, really?
It's really dumb, I think.
Tell me about it. This is your area.
I just think like you should have more horizontal windows, like, chest up. You can sit like bar stools. If you want to look out the window, you can do like a wider windowsill.
Dude, it is. That's the thing is like so many people follow the rule just because it's the rule, right? Everyone's like, oh, just buy single hung Andersons. It's like, why?
Yeah, why?
Spend $40 more, get something unique.
Get something cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Build your own window.
Look at us go, dude. 5 minutes in, we're already.
Are we centered?
I feel better. I mean, this. I'm telling you, I'm not just pandering, and I'm not like
Don't patronize me.
I'm not fluffing your hair when I say like this is nice. The experience so far, other than the pre and post production, which has been a nightmare. This is fun.
Yeah. Okay. What? No, I wasn't blowing you off. I was trying to think of like what would be a better word association word.
Oh, it's tough. I don't know. I was thinking like, all right, my turn. I'm like, what the light, guitar, camera,
action.
Like, where are you getting all these from?
Yeah, I don't know. I was doing my own thing. Let's see. So what was I gonna?
Let's go deep. You want me to give you some?
Yeah, okay. I don't know how good. I'm real surface level.
Existence.
Monkeys.
God. Gorillas. Like you can't just say primates all the time.
Chimpanzee.
Yeah, dude, it's hard. Oak.
Tree. I mean, I'm telling you, man, it's real.
You're like, greetings. Like, hello.
Card. Yeah.
Card. Table.
I said greetings. I said card.
Oh, yeah. I'm too slow for even that. I'm giving myself a. Good God. So how are we doing? Let's start with you because we started with me last time and ended with me and centered with me and 3/4 with me. So you, how are you feeling? You said you were drove up on the way here?
I was wound tight, man. I got home in a good mood, and then my kids just wound me right up,
dude.
And it feels so bad because you're like, I'm a grown up, they're kids, but you can't do anything. Like when I remember having the thought that kids, if you want to have kids, get ready because anything you love, they're just going to burn it down. You love watching movies?
You're never going to like it again.
Yes, it's terrible. We tried to watch a kid's movie with them, and they were terrible the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, at the house, though, not
bouncing
at the movies.
Around. No, at the house. Yeah, you're just like...
Oh, my God. Imagine. Have you tried the movies? Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it a nightmare or did it go well?
It did not go well.
Because sometimes it's like I would find that it's probably that, or it's such an experience that they're like...
Well, the problem was, on 2 levels, it was terrible. On 1 level, I didn't get to watch the movie because the kid was walking around the whole time.
Oh, God.
On the other level, no other kids were walking around. So I'm the worst parent in the movie theater.
Oh, because your kid is, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And so you're like immediately compared, even if you don't want to be compared to another parent.
Oh.
You're just like, yeah, well, you could sit them down and they're going to scream.
Yeah,
so
rough.
I can either like leave, which we ended up doing. I was like, I'm just not going to sit here and let you walk around.
Oh, it breaks my heart.
But it's a cool place. Like, I also recognize that it is a cool place. It is. Aisles and stairs. And
it's novel, right? Because you'd have to break them in before that. Like, dude, if you pulled me out of my existence and dropped me in a movie theater and I'd never been in one,
I'd be
like,
walking around too.
What is this thing?
Remember when you were a kid and you went to a hotel the first time?
I remember when I went to a hotel every time. I fucking loved hotels.
Run down the hallway.
Yeah.
Everything was quiet and padded. And
yeah.
I probably should be in a psych hospital and be like happy.
Everything's quiet and padded. What if you are in a psych hospital and all of this is in your head?
It's probably.
Dude.
Yeah, that probably is.
You know what's funny about movies though is all of my friends of my whole life, I'm just now into TV shows. We're also in the golden age of TV shows, which helps, but I was never a TV show guy. I was a movie guy all the time. I mean, I'm a huge cinema buff, so of course, but that's all I did. And more than just being a movie guy, never watching TV shows, I could not finish a movie. Kelsey can fall asleep.
Can't do it.
No.
I'm like, I got this far.
Oh, never. I don't care how. I mean, it is a rare occurrence if I'm falling asleep in a movie.
Oh, fall asleep.
Anything. Or leave or stop. I mean, stop or leave is just, it ain't going to happen.
I'll be like, I convince myself, even terrible movies, I convince myself, like, look, these are professionals this is professional people doing their work. Like, they got to pull this together somehow.
Yeah, and
then they don't.
And there's a certain like respect there too. Like I was showing Kelsey a singer-songwriter earlier. And on like the surface level, you could tell she's like, "What are you like? What is this?" Right? But I was like, "Well, I'm not listening to the pop appeal of it at all. I'm listening to the elements, the writing ability. You know, how witty and clever the lyrics may or may not be. You know, you don't have to watch something. What's the right way to say this? The smartest thing, I guess, would be to watch something with no expectation and find the positives. But
Right.
most people walk into something and be like, "It's gonna be a Marvel movie." It's like, dude. It's, you know, you miss so much when that's your scope. That's what you're looking for.
I think I'm like that though.
Oh, you expect that?
Yeah, I just want to be entertained.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I am entertained. Sometimes I'm entertained by my own like hatred of the movie.
Yeah, that's a thing too. And you know, the funny thing though is a lot of times if you're not, like if it's just annoying you or you just want to bail out if it's not good, you miss the things you might have found that were good in it because it didn't hit that expectation level. It's like a buddy of mine would show me like a really, really bad like C movies, not even B movies, like really bad, no budget, low budget.
My movie, yeah.
I know, I want to see this, but it was like, yeah, what you were just saying. It's like I had a good time hating it, literally a good time, probably a better time than if I liked a movie that night.
Well, if you like it, you're probably more simple and like, yeah, you're fine, right?
Right, unless you love it, right? Like is just like this complacent place,
right?
When you're in a movie.
We watched one that was terrible. Everything was predictable, and it had good actors, but it was like predictable. The shots were all everything was, and I watched it thinking it would be too scary for my kids, even though it was a bad movie.
You want to name it or no?
I can't remember it. It was it was about a grizzly bear.
Oh. I don't even know what that could be.
It's newer.
Not animated.
No.
Want to just angle that toward your mouth a little more? I'm just worried because I'm hearing it pull those. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Sweet.
Anyway, my kid loves it. He wants to watch it all the time. It's terrible.
And it's real bad.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's like one thing, like I have a knack amongst friends and family of like guessing movies. Not just act three, but everything. Like premise, setups, characters, archetypes.
This one you'd be like.
But the weird thing about it though, where I'm getting is, I've studied like more, or not study, I have self-studied more artsy films and deeper and complex and ambiguous films, that it's like when that's what the majority of your new recent history is, all the, you know, the regular everyday movie is so fucking obvious. Like that's how they sell it. They don't want you leaving a movie wondering, which is too bad.
Well,
right?
It's a formula now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just like,
and it's like everyone knows it now. Used to be just Spielberg. You know, he's like, oh, why are my movies good? Because I've got the equation. It's like, well, guess what, dude? Now everyone has the equation.
And now it's not good anymore because you're like, oh,
well, it's every movie.
This is going to happen in this.
Right. Yeah. And this, so amongst cinephiles, horror movies tend to get a real bad rap because of that, because they're so carbon copied and it's so mundane and boring and done. Which is funny because I'm that stupid, like naively ambitious idiot that wants to do a horror movie. I was telling you I wanted to do one about, I don't even know if I want to say it. Well, no one's going to see these yet. Sleep paralysis, because I cannot believe no one has done one.
Didn't we say we're not going to do ideas on here?
I know. Yeah.
You're going to be like,
learn my lesson.
Years, like 5 years, you'll be like,
oh
sleep
my
paralysis.
God.
You'll be like, fuck.
I'm going to call Nate because I woke up obliteratedly depressed. He's like, what happened? They're like, dude.
They stole my movie idea.
He's like, you didn't tell him. I'm like, but I put it out there into the ether.
I'm looking up this movie name.
Yeah, I want to know it. This whole time I've been thinking. I'm trying to figure out what it could be. It's not like that. No, you wouldn't let your kids watch a documentary where the bear pro gets eaten at the end.
Ooh, no.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Grizzly Man, I think it was.
Yeah.
That was good. It was really weird. I mean, like, this whole time you're like loving this guy's spirit that he can actually be closer than anyone reasonably should be with them. And then he gets eaten. And it's like, well, yeah.
The Grizzly Maze, 2015.
I've never even heard of that.
Is that what it's called?
Grizzly Maze.
Into the Grizzly Maze.
That's new.
A bloodthirsty grizzly bear stalks two estranged brothers in the Alaskan wilderness. 5.3 out of 3.10. 36% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow. That's pretty low. That's really low.
Pretty bad.
That's really low.
Yep.
Oh, man. That's the other thing with kids is it's like, I already have ruined myself for media, like music and movies and shit. And it's like, oh my God, if I have to watch Bubble Guppies or listen to Baby Shark, I will kill myself.
Yeah.
I can't do that,
It does
dude.
kill you.
Yeah, bro, that's right. Yeah.
Just slow.
Different level. Yeah. You're pulling the
That's like
trigger
that-
real slow.
That quote I sent you. Not the same, but kind of.
What was the quote? Did I
Yeah,
glance
you
over
liked it. It was like a heart has to break. Hearts.
Oh, it was like the resilience quote. Yeah, it was who
Is it
wrote it?
Resilience?
Well, no, it was based in that, right? It was like the heart must break, the wise learn to deal with the new
I'll
trauma.
just look it up because I can't remember. The heart breaks and lives by breaking. It is necessary to go through dark and deeper dark and not to turn.
Yeah.
I like really struck chord.
Who
That was in
wrote-
a
who wrote
kid's
that?
book, dude.
What?
Yeah.
How does a kid even interpret that?
I don't know.
You're like, I broke.
think-
he's
I
like,
think-
I broke my wrist snowboarding, but how you break your heart? Like, why you have a speech
The
impediment?
Testing Tree by Stanley. So that was in a kid's book. I don't know what the Testing Tree is, but it was in a book called The Adventures of Edward Tulane or something like
For
that.
kids.
Yeah. Well, I
God
think so.
damn.
It's probably kind of a deep book. It's about
I was gonna say, I'll read my kid that.
I'm in. My daughter's like, I'm bored. I'm like, I'll read it then.
You're like, pretend you're not, because I'm not done. I have 4 more
Pretend you
pages.
like this. Yeah.
Oh man.
Mm.
No, I get worried about that, but
Telling you.
I think you worry about all the things you're not used to. Like right before we hit record, we were talking about kids, and you were saying how sometimes it's really trying, like tonight, where it's like you get to a point where if it was an adult and they kept doing the thing you told them not to do, you'd probably smack them. But it's like they're kids. It's like
Right.
what is the proper course of action when you've exhausted all your tools? It's tough. Other than
it's a lot of stuff like time out.
right,
You spank them sometimes.
take things away.
Yeah. I mean, there's reward. We try everything, man. It's like
Yeah.
nothing works all the time.
See, I don't know that I have that current health to deal with it. I think like I said to you before we hit this, I think I would be like subconsciously putting all of my shortcomings on that kid.
They're smart. They respond differently than you think.
And so this is a good topic. I've been thinking about this all week. No joke. And I don't even know why. Actually, I do. I remember why. But I shouldn't. Yeah, I'm not going to say it. So what if you do? Every interesting, wise, seasoned person I've ever met dealt with a lot of adversity. And I don't know that they would be those people without it, right? I think if you can do it the problem is there's a gradient here where I say, if you can do it in a non-damaging way, that's no such thing. I mean, like certain things that we had to go through as kids could be classified as damaging, I'm sure. But would we be who we are without them? I don't think so. I wouldn't be.
No.
So then, right, where do you draw the line and go, you're not going to be a learned master raising a kid? It's not going to happen.
Nobody.
There is no perfect
There's
course.
a quote that says like, paraphrasing, but like you're gonna fuck them up. Just try not to fuck them up too bad. Really,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's gonna make huge mistakes with their kids, but we don't even know we're making them in the moment. Later, you can go, yeah, I shouldn't have
Yeah.
done that.
I wonder, though, if that's a bonding factor of like, existential weight with your kin. It's like some of these, like I wonder sometimes with friends that are like severe addicts, right? I'm like, what is the proper course of action for their parents? Because I've never seen it done right? Or well. It's always messy. Maybe that's just the nature of those things, and I'm sure it is. I dealt with it opposite with a parent, so like I don't know how the other way goes.
Right.
But I thought, because the other thing is like their consistency and their patience with those kids is mind-numbing. But then I think you must feel so indebted to problems that you're not sure if you created or not. You know what I mean?
As the parent,
Yeah. There's got to be some of that because there's nothing else to explain.
I was listening to a podcast today, and the woman was talking about she was overweight, so she was an addict to food, and but not bad, I guess. But still, she was made to feel like she had a problem, and her mom made it her mission to fix her.
Yeah.
And made it worse.
Oh God.
So, yeah, they're consistent. I don't know. I think the more, and I'm not an expert. I'm dumb. I mean, I really like. I just I'm barely a parent. I've been like 7 years. So it's like, but growing up and having those, being a kid and having parents, I think in the long run, the more you just show that you're, it's unconditional, that you're going to welcome them back, that you love them, and your willingness to spend time with them at all stages.
Right. Doesn't matter.
Probably the most important thing. And not trying to fix. I mean, people have their issues. I mean, if somebody tried to fix everything that was wrong with me, I'd be...
Well, they couldn't.
I'd be like, go away, please.
Yeah, you can't do that with people.
That pushes them away, I think, so...
Yeah, I mean, I got lucky because my crash course in raising somebody was, I mean...
Yeah, you've already had a kid, dude.
But not... So my thing is, I think the harder part, which is funny because I bet people wouldn't think this, and maybe I only think it because I haven't experienced it, right? We're speaking like in ultimatums that don't exist, but I took Hayden in at like 10 till she was 18, right? Most people like a teenage girl through high school, middle school, but she was the best. She was like a friend, right? We were young, so it must be nice having parents that are in their early 20s and stuff, late or mid 20s, whatever it was. But I would take that again any day. This like newborn to 7 phase, holy shit, I don't have the patience.
Yeah, nobody has the patience for newborns. You just gotta grind, dude. It's like,
dude, I feel the dread right now, like we're pregnant, and we're not. But it's just I feel it. I already can.
I feel pregnant.
I am pregnant, dude. You're talking about like someone having a weight issue with a food addiction, and I'm over here like, I have a food addiction. I straight up do. It's like it's so bad because it's like, I think we both kind of had this, right? I grew up, when I had like real bad acne in high school, I was this like, stickler about like keeping that scale tilted towards all things good for complexion. I'm like, I'm working out, I'm keeping clean, I'm not breathing oil, I'm not eating bad food, I'm not being messy, whatever it is, right? All the things you can do to help. So you think, guess what? Doesn't matter. If you have acne, you're going to have acne. There's nothing you can do. It's
inside, dude.
That's right. But
it's because you're a bad person.
That's right. But I was so good. I mean, I ate completely organic, everything. And I wouldn't eat bad foods, even if they were organic. Like, I'd stay away from dairy and stuff.
That was not you, dude.
No, you weren't? No?
Fuck no.
So you know what's funny, though, is my point was I rebelled from my own shit. Once I got good, right? Once I grew up enough to grow out of it, all bets are off. I'm eating McDonald's every day. I'm drinking soda, and I worked out. So like, it didn't matter. You didn't see those choices. I'm sure inside you did.
Yeah. Your liver's totally damaged.
Oh, everything. How about everything?
No. Yeah.
No, I'm sure. I mean, to an extent, but I still haven't like ditched that. And I'm like, you hit these milestones, which we sometimes talk about as like 30 years old. You hit that like new decade. And I'm like, fuck, like, yeah, I'm not 50, but I'm also not 18.
No, yeah.
Like, god damn.
40 has been rough.
I can't even imagine the mental, like, because like I said, a lot of my mental and now I'm finding physical ailments are age-based. And it's like, dude, I'm only 30. It's like,
it's uncanny how close to 40 all of a sudden things just start like falling apart.
oh man, you're 42, 3?
40. I'm 40.
Wait,
Just
is Rachel
40.
your age?
No, she's older.
She's 43.
No, she's 42, but she's 40 also.
Like
she's
42.
6
She's
months
60. Like, she looks really good, dude. Tip of the
I
hat.
love those older ladies. Yeah, she's senile, but she's good.
Yeah. Let's hope she doesn't hear this.
She won't.
She's like, that Daniel character, I tell you what.
He said it. I didn't say. Yeah. No.
There's a port in the front that I've never seen. I wish I could figure out what it was, but not while we're rolling. I'll drop it off the back. Yeah. Man, it's funny. I was trying to explain this to Steve yesterday. Also, maybe, I think by the time this one's out, Paranormies episode 1 might be out. So check that out if you're on the channel.
That looks hilarious.
Mom. Well, I don't
Rachel.
know. Mine's gone, so
Oh,
I almost made a joke. I almost went real dark. Like, well, mine's dead, so
I
it won't be
didn't
her.
even catch on to that.
Yeah, Rachel and Kelsey. But no, check it out. Me and Steve's first episode. It's rough. We'll iron it out just like this one. My point was about to be that I'm finding that we are Like I used to think, I wasn't ever premeditating what I would say here because I can't. We're talking way too at length to do that and at random. But I was always like, while in my free time here, when there's a breath in the conversation, I'm like, what avenue can we go down, right? But there's a weird thing that just happens on its own when you're doing something creative like this, if you're open enough, that just like it irons out itself. The topics that we'll naturally go down, talk about, and
yeah, I do the same thing. I'm
it's
like,
so cool.
I should do this. There's not that time. I mean, it's like you get into that like, and you're gone, yeah.
Well, that's like I do a lot of branding with certain things, and a lot of that comes down to planning, and it's really just thinking. It's a lot of brainstorming, seeing what sticks, trial and error. So I'm used to that side of like, you're not going to outthink me. Like I'm going to out-research somebody unless they're like me. Like it's just going to happen. This kind of thing, you don't do that. Like when we started, when I was telling a friend of mine about it, he's like, what's it about? And I was telling you, you know me, I'm a worrisome nut and I'm manic and I'm like, dude, we need a theme. We need something, right? And you're like, it's good. We'll get it. And I'm like, no, but we need an idea. We need a theme.
No, I can't. I was with you on that for a little bit.
But the funny thing is, you're working back to front that way. Like if we had come up with one and stuck to it, it would not be as natural or as clean or as normal.
Because we'd be confined.
Right. And in that sense, I could probably now tell you what this podcast is about. Yet we haven't forced any hands. Like I'm not.
Do you know what it's about?
I have themes.
You do?
I couldn't summarize it yet well. Like I don't know what I'm going to write on YouTube when these are up. Well, by the time anyone but us hears this, they will be up. But I don't know yet. I mean, like, definitely existentialism, like the essence of our existence, what it is, why it is. We've gone down that quite a few times, whether it's pseudo-religion, pseudoscience, whatever. I was going to say male mental health until I got feedback, like I told you, that was like, I think this is refreshing for any gender. It's like to hear especially, us talk about stuff so openly and just like not giving a fuck. That's refreshing. Like you said, last episode, maybe it was the first one, like none of my other friends I could talk to about this. Most of mine I could, but it's not like they could be like, hey, answer the phone. Hey, what's up? What do you think about sensitivity? And they'd be like, dude, shut the fuck. You know what I mean? Like it would take a minute, but they could get there. So yeah, I mean, mental health, being open about mental health. Some paranormal stuff. We both have a knack for that, or unexplainable stuff.
Interest in it.
Yeah,
Not
right.
necessarily like gonna lean a certain way.
Using ourselves as mirrors, we do a lot. There must be a term for that.
Reflecting.
Not so much for us. Well, we do it for ourselves, but for people. Like we're a nice, like, hey, listen to all the dumb shit we did and think, and bounce that off your experience.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Just organic. Just listen.
Yeah.
It's off topic, but
I was lost anyway. I was pulling for straws.
What were you? What were you? Another one.
Dude, you've almost got it. Like right. You were even the same key. Like he dropped a little bit, but
what? How were you talking to yourself this morning when you woke up on the wrong side of the bed? Daniel?
Oh, yesterday.
Sorry. Yeah. Do you remember? Do you remember like any thoughts you had?
You know me pretty well. You're knowing me a lot.
Getting there.
Weller, right?
Weller.
Hey, guess what I bought today?
Blanton's.
No. I found out because I've been so busy with this stuff that I haven't been like nose to the grindstone, whatever.
Groundstone.
The Groundstone. Yeah, I like that. Groundstone Productions.
There you go.
That I missed the fact that Cohiba, which is one of the biggest brands in cigars, the domestic version, not the Cuban one, which isn't as good in the community, did a team up with Weller and made these like limited 10 count in crystal tubes Weller Cohibas. Bought a box, had to do it. So I'm going to test them first because from everything I'm reading, they're like knock you on your ass in full.
Oh yeah.
So
I don't need them, man. I'll just enjoy.
You're like, I'll enjoy looking at them because it's cool.
Smoke.
But no, I thought that was super cool. So here's the thing, right? Getting to know my perspective a little more. I don't get tied up in a lot of like you loser piece of shit stuff. Like that stuff's like that Hallmark cardy shit. Like you're lazy or you're an asshole. Like I don't get caught up in that. I get caught
Hallmark
up.
make cards like that now?
Yeah, you just have to dig. They bury them.
They're at Walgreens.
Yeah, that's right. They're somewhere. They're made on like Spencer's website only or something.
Hey, just wanted you to know you're a fucking loser.
Yeah, like, hey, just wanted you to know. Fuck you.
We should make those kind of cards.
That'd be so good. They must exist. Everything's done.
We call it grading cards. Just grind you
Level
down.
cards, level you out. No, my stuff's always like, it's insufferable. It's like the kind of stuff that even an intellect can't fight. Like, you're not wrong. Like, I hate that because I say this sometimes where I always grew up wildly ambitious and romantic. That's just in my blood and how I was raised and who I am. And like, I actually feel like that stupid fucking, sensationalist meme about like, when you're a kid, you identify with the heroes. And when you get older, you identify with the villains. But I fucking do sometimes. It's like some of the shit, I'd be like, well, I don't know what. I don't remember why I was depressed. Like I told you, I didn't like it. Maybe it was dreams, but I don't remember what happened. I don't remember the dream.
Not like how it started, but like, did you continue it? Did you like keep it going somehow?
Yeah. So my thing is like, I sat in that solemn mood and mindset headspace all morning, and like in my silence.
But is there
for
something
hours
going on?
Yeah,
in your head?
I'm discussing stuff with myself, or
You
I'm
are.
thinking of things. Like, it might not be like an actual like conversation, but it's a rhetoric. Like, I'm following some train of thought that I'm obliterated about. Like, but it's stuff like, you're 30.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing with your relationship? Like, your business stuff should be more ironed out. You're way too flighty. You're not putting enough energy in one thing, and you know that, but you don't do anything about it. You're being too lazy, and your health is taking a toll, and you know that. That's always the point. It's like, it's not just these things where I'm like, oh yeah, I should change it. I'm also reminding myself, you fucking know that you're doing it, and you're still doing it. It's insufferable. It's like you can't fight it. So it's fucking tough, dude. You get in this like tornado of your own shit.
Yeah. Well, that's what that book was like. Instead of doing that, go the other way and be like, yo, if Andrew was going, or Leif was going through it, or Steve was saying these things about himself,
Yeah.
what would you do? What would you say to him? You wouldn't say the same shit.
No.
And you know that, Steve.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, I mean, you would have to straight up, you'd have to make me say, like, even if I thought that, I would know that it was better to be disingenuous for a second to help you in more than one way, right? Because I could say and justify saying that to somebody if they needed to hear it. But as much as that might help them at some point in that timeline, it's not going to at first.
Well, it's a spiral, like you said, tornado, but it's a
That's
spiral.
right. That's right. So sometimes, like, I hate that when people are like, like we say a lot of that, we've been championing that upfront openness, honesty, and that is great. But sometimes that does more damage than good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to remember, that idea is based at a neutral standpoint when you can do that into an abyss, but you're never doing that. You're always bouncing that off something relative, right? So me saying that to, I'm not saying this because either of them would deserve it. You said names and I'm thinking of them. If I said that to like Leif or Steve or Andrew, any of them, and they were in like a moment of vulnerability where they knew I wasn't attacking them and I had something to say about that, and they took it in honestly and realized that it's true and that they also think that would be rare. If they were in the middle of this shitstorm and they were vulnerable and they were hurting and they wanted my opinion, but that was the best way they could say, tell me something to make me feel a little better, that would not help them.
No.
That would push them further down.
So what you got to do in that situation, right, is just to kind of like treat yourself like you would.
Yeah. So, dude, if this isn't a thing, I just thought of this on accident because my songwriter's going, honesty isn't the best policy. Empathy is the best policy.
Yeah.
Because in that scenario, honesty does not work.
No.
You're going to hurt them more.
Even
if you think you're going to help them, you take that fucking righteous, well, they need to hear it and I'll help them in the long run. Go fuck yourself. Tell them that when they can hear it.
Right.
Give them, hug them.
Exactly.
Verbally. Right.
Yeah.
And then tell them that when they can take it. And you know that. It's like, I hate that stuff.
I think that's why, like it's just a spiral is because you feel that way, even though you don't know why.
Yeah.
And then you just start beating on yourself. If you can break that, man, without somebody's help, that's so powerful.
Yeah, and we've talked about this, probably not as pinpointed, but we have many times. I've asked you your take on this. There's lessons I'm trying to learn that are more than be kind or be patient. They're like, lower the time it takes to break out of a death spin. You know, like very specific stuff like that. Like lower that threshold between realizing you're being insufferable and just doing more damage and being able to grace your way out enough, even if it's not back to happiness, it's to neutrality, so you're not worsening the situation. That's a very specific thing to want to be better at 30. It's way more in depth than be nice to people.
Yeah.
I am nice to people. You know,
But I don't agree with that.
Don't be nice to people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
No, of course
I'm
not.
not going to be nice to you if you're being a dick.
Well, no, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. This is not to go back to Neil Donald Walsh. Jesus Christ. Call the
Oh, I didn't listen to that.
call St. Mary's. But that was, again, it's a good point. And again, it's probably not his. That's just my encyclopedia. So if anyone sees it, don't jump on me. That's just who I know it from. His thing is be nice to everyone, includes you. Again,
Well,
stop
that's what I'm
thinking
saying.
the separatism.
This book that I gave
But
you.
in that scenario of like, you don't have to be nice to someone if they're being an asshole, right? His take would be something like, and this is, I guess I'm making this up, but within his, paradigm of thought or realm of thought, it would be being nice to everyone includes you. So
Even
like
if
if
you're
you're
being an
taking,
asshole.
well, no. It's more like if you're taking a toll because of someone else's actions and you're still just being nice because you think that's the righteous move, you're hurting you. You're not being nice to everyone.
Oh, right.
You're being fake
I got you.
to him and hurting you.
The other thing, what you were just saying, is to lower that time that you're in that
Huge.
spiral, is stepping out. Being able to step away and getting perspective.
Yeah.
Because when you're in it, man, you're
there.
You're in it.
Yeah.
So if you can step out for just a second, and be
Yeah.
like, am I being?
I think for me anyway, in that mind space, like I was still there even today a little bit. I pulled out because I got excited about somebody. I got excited we were doing this. I got excited that I finally fixed that render thing and it worked. I was like, you wouldn't believe how much of a win that was. But then I thought there's an addictive quality to being in that death spin. And for me, it's one of the elements is it's entirely not okay. Not proven. I can't think of the right word. It's justified, kind of works, but that's not what I'm going for. Because if you're telling yourself all that shit that I was just saying, and more, much more, darker, deeper bullshit, you're not wrong, right? You're not doing any good. You're not helping the situation by acknowledging it. But you almost feel vindicated because you're like, even if I feel bad, I know that I'm justified. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a weirdness there where it's like, you're right? Which is nice for someone, that prides themselves to. I need a horn that I can toot when I'm pumping myself up. Oh yeah, another one. There it is. Close enough. But no, when you pride yourself on intellectualism and objective thought and stuff, you're like, you have this yearning always to be right about things. Like you want to be accurate. It's not like a pissing contest where you need to be right, but you want to be accurate. Like, is what I'm thinking based in a sense of reality, and is it well thought out? And that's the problem with those mindsets, at least for me, is like they are. Like, if you're shitting on yourself, maybe you need to be shit on.
Yeah, but it's kind of like you're right, but you're not right now.
Yeah, right.
Just
Yeah.
to bastardize that whole thing. But I mean, if you called any of your friends at that point of
Yeah.
the day and said, "Hey, here's what I'm thinking,"
Oh, yeah,
they'd be like, "Dude, fuck off,"
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Right.
Like,
right.
take it easy on yourself. Holy
Yeah.
shit, you've accomplished a lot. Like,
Yeah.
you're seeing all the negatives. Just like looking back on, yeah.
And, it's weird. I've had this like depth of thought lately too about all this shit. Like exactly what you just said. Like if we rest on our laurels and we're like, I did a lot in my industry in 22 years in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there's a lot of elements that are like, wow, that was impressive, right? Like I said this last week when we did one, it was like, if everyone's telling you you're good, there is no drive to be better, especially if you believe them. That's why, like, I refuse to, no matter how many people say I'm good, I'll be like, I'm proficient at certain things, because you'll stop. There's no reason to strive. But this was my take this week, because I'm insane. And my thought was, well, maybe it's not good though, because you might finish life being like, I was relentless in my pursuit of improvement. But you might realize you've lived 70 miserable years, never enjoying any stage of your development.
I think I asked you last week, would you rather be...
You did. I just watched it today. I watched that part weirdly. That was the part that messed up, that I fixed.
Oh, it did.
Talk about weird.
Yeah. Would you rather be really good at everything but miserable, or total shit and happy?
Yeah. And you know what's funny is, as I'm getting older, like I just said, those are old beliefs. Those were those stickler, strong, fucking gritting teeth. I'm holding myself up to the standard. My beliefs are strong. They're grounded in well thought and deep thought. This is how it is. And I'm like, dude,
there's got to be.
You've got to get off the hook there. Yeah, right. It's because here's the thing. That's charged up. Like you and I were talking about the Buddhist belief of being centered and not pulling that rubber band either way. Because if you're pulling it this way, you've got to counter.
It's got to come back.
That's right. So you've got to stay. So I think that is the idea. I don't want to switch topics, but I like talking about synchronicity. That would be a fun bounce.
It's been a theme.
Dude, so I can't remember. There was another one I thought about today when I saw this.
Another one.
Dude, I love it. You're beating me to it. You know what I need to do? I need to run Mixer. You need to run sound bites. That would help too. Yeah, that would be then cool. I don't have to deal with them.
I want buttons.
Dude, we should. Also, we could have more banks. We could do like 8 more. That'd be cool. You can buy little USB, just these, and program them. Anyway, future. I haven't got my dog a BarkBox subscription in years.
I don't know what that is.
So it's this new like
Freshly or like
for dogs, yeah. So dogs. Every month they'll give you, but the cool thing is it's really
Oh, it's not food.
It's treats, toys.
Oh, it's like Koala Crate for kids.
Oh, I don't know that.
They make a bunch of
but it's like, they pride themselves on being pretty healthy, and they're not whatever. It's marketing, but it is better. Like the best stuff you could find at Walmart would probably keep up with this. Maybe Petco you'd find a little better, but anyway, I used to get it for him when he was a puppy. When you're a new dog owner, you're all about it. Everything you can find that has to do with him, you're in it. So I got it for him for a while at the old house. This is over 3 years ago, and I randomly saw. Because I've seen them all over Facebook for years. Like, I'd see ads, they were giving away a Yeti dog bowl. And I was like, that's really expensive and cool.
Yeah.
Maybe cool to put in the back of the Bronco and like bring him on a hike, And I still didn't do it, right? So it wasn't like they knew the timeline. I've seen their ads all the time, and I've never done it. They had this like pool float made by this like really high-end company for dogs that's like rip-proof.
That one out there?
Yeah, it's like triple thick. The claws can't get through it. And Finn loves the pool. It is grandparents play, Kelsey's parents, and I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. And you know what? Yeah, poor Finny. He's had a rough summer, all the health stuff, and he's always yelled at because he's a little loudmouth. Like he'd love that, and he's smart as shit. So he's like, every time he used to get him, he'd try to open them and stuff, rip the tape and pull the tape. He loves it. He can get visibly excited and knows what they are by name. So I didn't tell him or Kelsey, and I signed up, not knowing when it would be here. Of course, it comes in today. Finn doesn't even freak out. You know how bad Finn gets triggered. Didn't even freak out at the mailman. That's how much he knows. I was like, I'm like, hey, he looks at me. I'm like, he's got your BarkBox. Total mood switch. Like, what the, like, oh my God. He thought I was lying. You could tell. He's like, nah. He goes over, he gets it, dude. Rips it open, right? I'm sitting there and I'm taping it. I'm like, oh, this is so cute. Anyway, Kels leaves the room with him, and they, whatever, puts his toys up because he's ruining them. And I have a routine on my phone because I'm OCD, and I get to Snapchat, which I never check. I don't know the last time I was on Snapchat. And I look at my memories. This day 4 years ago, Finn got his first BarkBox.
That's like last week,
now,
right? We were talking about.
Yeah.
Memory
I mean, like,
to the day. Wow.
This was to the day.
24 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
This was the, whatever, it was today the 9th? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so out of it. It was this day. That's so, like, there's so many. So here's the other thing. If you choose not to look, it doesn't even matter, right? Because those variables are just inherently nonsensical. Who cares when a subscription service got to your house 4 years ago? But if that's what you're thinking about, and then you see the connection, it's hard to ignore.
You mean if you're thinking about synchronicity and then you see it?
Yeah, well, yeah, but also if you're just like, if you're thinking about, if the big moment of your day, which is really pathetic to think that it was my dog getting his subscription service, but if that's the thing, and I just happen to go on an app I never go on, and I'm looking at the little red thing, the little notification, I'm like, what is this, memories? And I'm going through, and there's a log, because it goes up through the years, everything on this day, since you've had your account. And I get to 4 years ago, and it was his first bark box on this day. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's pretty
What are the
good.
odds I even get that again? I could go make him a bark box at Walmart for half the money, package it, and have it fake dropped off, you know? Like, but I just decided that it's just weird. It's weird.
The highlight of my day was we had the address to the wrong house.
Oh, God.
I show up.
That you're inspecting?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
The septic inspector was also there in his Prius.
At the wrong house?
At the wrong house.
Oh, God.
We both had the wrong
Oh,
address.
okay. I was going to say, so there was...
It wasn't my fault.
Right.
It was somebody else's fault. I'm not going to name names. And
Like, I'm not going to name names. Steve.
yes.
How would it be Steve's fault? Like, I did fucking everything Steve's fault.
Steve. So we drive to the other house, and the kid's like, he's a neckbeard septic inspector.
What is that?
Just like a real nerdy, like
I don't know what that... I never heard that.
neckbeard.
No.
It's like
I would think neckbeard means like sloppy and like unkept.
kind of, yeah. They like.
Oh, it's like the new
a
hipster thing, like drink out of an old pickle jar kind of thing.
Ooh, no, it's like live in your mom's basement and just.
Oh, okay.
surf
Okay,
Reddit.
so it is that unkept, like,
Yeah, and you
Yep.
poor hygiene.
like, what do they call incel? No, I don't know. That's some name, whatever.
I don't know.
So yeah, this kid.
I'll probably get flack for that. Sorry.
Yeah, we're
Yeah. Sorry, neckbeards.
we love you, neckbeards. I have a neckbeard. Isn't shaved right now.
Yeah, I have neck fat.
Well, I have 3 neckbeards
I have
because I
neck
have
fat.
3 necks. So
Yeah. And so the realtor is an attractive younger. She's older than him, but younger agent, and he can't get the clean out off the.
oh no.
So he comes up.
And you guys are at the wrong house.
No, we're at the right house now. We
I was
all
saying, you're
show
at the
up
wrong
at
house
the right.
working on it. It's not good.
No, we just had an awkward moment at the wrong house where he knocked on the door and the guy was like, comes out in his you can't say that word anymore. His undershirt, his white undershirt,
Oh
and
yeah,
he's real confused and almost like violent, not violent.
well, yeah, because he's like, "What are you scamming me about?
yeah, what's going
You're
on?
not getting in my house." Yeah,
Yeah, why
I
are
mean,
you
I'd be
looking?
pretty.
And I was like parked in the front yard. That dude's in the driveway. That dude must have been like a little bit nervous.
Holy shit!
So we leave. We go to the right house, and she shows up, and he comes up from the basement. And he's like, "I can't get the clean out off. I need some penetrating lube."
And you're like, dude, synchronicity. I used a whole bottle of penetrating lube last night.
Well, it was almost like you'd hear the crickets in the house.
Oh my
It was
god,
awesome. Oh man, that was my highlight of my day right there.
that's good though.
Yeah,
Funnier than
nobody
my day.
laughed,
But inside you were laughing.
but I'm pretty sure we were both like,
Dude, that's one job. I just they make a lot of money. They're well
septic
respected.
inspectors?
Oh no, plumbers. I was thinking.
Oh, plumbers. Yeah, yeah.
You would
Septic
think they'd be the
inspectors, too.
same thing, right? Wouldn't they
You
want to
would
do
think-
both?
Yeah, you would think, but they're so busy.
Yeah. I believe it. Yeah, it's man. There's a lot to a house.
Too much, man.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced it's a great
Investment.
idea. I don't think the way they're designed is good. Now.
No, I don't either. I've never thought they're good. I've always thought there's room for improvement, and why have we not changed how we design them in how many years?
200 years.
Yeah, it's stupid. Stupid. We get complacent.
People love living in old houses, though.
Well, look at us.
Yeah,
The
right.
basis
We both
is-
have
Yeah, the base is 1890. The most of
gonna
it's
say
1920.
I don't like living in my house.
Well, you know what's funny is I do until I have to do something to it, and that is all the time. All the time. I've not stopped doing things to this house since I moved in. And I have a laundry list of things still to do.
And you always have to mow the lawn,
Yeah.
Do the
Dude, I went to a birthday dinner with a good friend of mine who's very well connected and has a lot of eclectic friends.
Steve.
No. I said
No, I'm just
eclectic.
kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
You're like, hey. No, I'm kidding, Steve. I love you. Shut the fuck up. And two of them in their like late 60s, you'd never know it. Super vibrant, like very, very like young, even like in mind. Like their reference base was young, like very unfitting and really cool, refreshing to see. Were like preaching and championing renting. Because I was talking about my house, because some of them were realtors. And they're like, fuck owning a house. What do you do? They're like, you know what I would own a house? I'm like, why? And they're like, as an investment. He's like, and I have. He goes, I have owned 5 houses and lived in a rental. And I'm like, why? And he's like, cause I don't want another house to worry about. If I have a leak, my landlord takes care of it. If something happens to my sills, I don't pay for it. And it's like, that is true.
Yeah.
Because what's the main benefit of owning a house? Growing your net worth, equity.
Right.
If you own 5 as investments, you're already doing that.
Yeah, but if you own 5 as investments and you're not taking care of them because a property manager is, what's adding another house to their list?
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, because you probably couldn't make a property manager do your own house.
Why not?
I guess you
They
could.
manage properties.
That's true.
Why don't you do that?
Dude. He did it again. We need to start a property management company for lazy homeowners.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing?
Cheers.
Let's kill this right now. We got to go talk. Sorry, guys.
Bye, guys. Fuck off. Don't steal that idea.
Yeah, that's right. See you later, guys.
Another one.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Another one. Yes. Yes.
There it is. We don't need to flip houses. Let's just do that.
Let's make a property management.
Isn't that called a handyman service, though?
Yeah, it is. But they're naming it wrong. Branding, that's wrong.
Yeah, property
Handyman.
management for
Call it
dumbass.
like your active side husband. You know, whatever. You're the opposite of your slacky husband company.
handy jobs.
No.
No?
Well, if we did a leaf blowing version, we call it blowy jobs. And that would be,
We could do that. We do blowy jobs, handy jobs.
No. Well, what there really is a lack for, though, is you see the old whiskey barrels, and they take such a beating at the top that the edges get broke, so we could do rimmy jobs just by...
Do rimmy jobs.
Just, flatten them out. We could lower the barrel a little bit and put the cover.
Yeah. And if they have, they have bung holes, too, so we can clean them.
Yeah. Oh, they are called... That's right.
They have the bung holes.
Is that's what that comes from, then?
Yeah.
I'm so stupid. I was like, why would they name it that when it had such a bad... And they're like, oh, dipshit, it was called that first. It's like every time I see an ATM, I think about...
STDs?
No.
I don't know. ATM.
I'm 100% not going to say it.
Really?
I can mute and say it. You've never heard of what I just said?
No.
Not even in like...
I heard the movie, like Human Centipede.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
I mean, never heard of the term. Like it was.
Oh my God. A buddy of me used to pick him up at CMCC. And we went down. I think it was like...
the college.
The college, yeah. And he would always like...
I used to break him out of the hospital.
I used to pick my buddy up at St. Mary's. Like, you're allowed to leave there? Like, no.
No.
But he would always get money out of an ATM. And I'm like, dude, just use your fucking debit card. Why make the stop to get money and then use the cash? I never understood that. He's like, well, you can't track what you pay in cash. I'm like...
You can track that you took it out of the fucking bank.
Come on. But I was like, you know what that actually stands for? I'm like, automated transaction machine? He's like, what I just said. I'm like, and I never will unsee it.
I'll never see it. I won't think of that ever again.
Well, you're lucky. He also was...
what does that even mean?
It's like a pornographic subgenre.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting. He also was like, when the internet was new, he's like 4 years older than me. And me and my bass player at the time were like fucking 8th grade. And he's like, dude, check this out. There's this dope new site you need to see. And it was meatspin.com. And it was...
That's on the list of things you should never Google, right?
Well, yeah.
Like Blue Waffle.
Yeah. This is one of those like early troll sites, like way before its time. Like to be
Lemon
trolling
Party.
people
Wasn't
on
Lemon
that.
Party? Yeah.
And it was like, it was scored. Like, it was
I
like,
don't think I've
you
seen it.
spin me right round, baby. In the background, it's like, oh, thanks for ruining that banger.
I guess I can picture what it is, but it's not as bad as like Lemon Party and those.
No, because it's not as
Right.
disgusting.
I did
mean.
look that up. Like, well,
Oh, yeah.
that was
Pink Sock and.
nope, never heard of it. Nope.
Hey, don't.
I'm
hear
old
that.
enough now where it's like people like.
Oh, you're wise enough not to look this stuff up?
Yeah, if I see like people go, don't click that.
I'm like, I won't. Thank
I'm
you.
not- Thanks. I'm not gonna do it.
Oh, dude.
All you gotta do is read down like 3 comments and then like I wish.
Dude, that's my fucking argument. Oh, we said this on the first episode that it's like, bro, I like Facebook saying, hey, do you want to see this fucking video before you see it? And I'm like, no, thanks. I like that shit.
Thanks for blacking that out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're like, well, it involves brutal death via a bunghole. And then it's just all it is. Their AIs. The joke is their AI is so bad. You uncover the video and someone just drops a wine barrel on its opening. You're like, way to not go.
Well, thanks.
Rewind time. Yeah, sorry. Rewind to another one.
Another one.
Dude, timing. So I was saying to Steve on Paranormies that crossover.
Would you like Tim Hardaway?
Yeah, we need to.
That was dated. I dated myself.
Oh no, I'll say this on here because this is fun. You obviously know that Steve has been a heavy voice in doing and taking
Lots of drugs.
yeah, straight edge. Taking Paranormies on the road. He wants to visit places.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have you be like a secret special guest on whatever one you want to go to. You can come to all of them. Yeah. And we have a fun opener for it. This is the podcast where you can like break fourth walls and be fun and just talk about things. But in that one, we had it so planned, it's gonna be funny.
But if they see this, are they gonna be like, "Oh, the fucking surprise is ruined"?
So you know how Steve wants to. Maybe don't watch both. No, watch both. Yeah, so we want to take it on the road, and we've been looking and talking to places. We have been finding Maine urban legends, and we're reaching out to some of the, because like I honestly think, like I said, this being a lot more naturally ironed out because we've been chiseling away at this one for a good amount of time. And we're both naturally just inclined to talk how we're talking, so it's easy. That one isn't as much, and I kind of branded it knowing it would push us a little bit because like we don't really talk about that shit. Like you'd think being named that each episode we would deep dive into like a happening, but we're not doing that. We're kind of disguising it as, you know, kind of a talk showy thing, but based roughly around those happenings. So anyway, we thought to start building the basement. Build up that foundation. We would each episode talk about something that happened in Maine. Have you ever heard about the? I don't even know what they call them. The creature.
Turner Beast.
Yeah, that was weird. Didn't they? They sent that to a lab, right? Found out it was a dog.
Something with mange.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
Manja.
man. You're like, no.
That's the word. That's no.
The Palmyra beasts.
Yeah, it's the same as the Turner Beast, right?
No, but this apparently it was this house that was like sieged by werewolves.
Did you? There's a. Just not. I mean,
What?
Let's skip over for a second. There's an article in the Boston Globe or whatever.
Oh God.
That this guy from Maine. I don't know where he's from. I guess I didn't read the article. I couldn't click through. It said Maine man 88 keeps getting attacked by foxes.
When was this?
Like recently. It was
And it was a
on
real one?
Reddit today.
No shit.
Yeah, like they're just targeting him. And then it's
Weird.
like one of the comments is like, you know what you did. Probably the foxes.
Dude, I'm waiting for it. Reminds me of that meme where this guy's like, it was a reporter looking at the guy that was mauled by a cougar. That famous story. And the reporter's looking at him like, and the memes,
She's a cougar.
I don't think his cougar problems are over yet. And I was like, oh, dude. Ding, ding, ding.
Another one.
Don't make sound effects when you have them. I'm sitting here saying ding, 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 and I've got a ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding.
Another one.
Oh, right with you. Unison,
Ooh.
baby.
Love you, Khalid.
I didn't know that, like, And not to like rip off our other show, but it's interesting. It's in my mind because I've been trying to produce it and refine it a bit, rock tumble, if you will. And there's so much shit in Maine. There's like some captain's grave in the Bangor area that burned a witch.
The handprint.
The footprint. Yes.
I want to
There's
see that.
the Devil's Rock in Central Maine. Have you heard of this myth?
Aren't we in Central Maine? Whatever.
Or
isn't everywhere Central Maine?
Yeah, technically this is.
Anyway.
It's up by Augusta. Apparently, the myth was there's this rock that one of the workers, the old road workers in the day, was like, they couldn't move it. They didn't have the power. It's big back then. Early in. And he goes, I will sell my soul if this fucking rock can just be out of here by tomorrow. And it was moved the next day. Just happened to be moved. And apparently the devil kicked it, so there's a footprint. I mean, it's total bullshit, but it's a cool myth.
Is it?
Yeah, right.
So you guys, we're going there?
So that's the thing. I'm telling you now that you were going to ask you, hey, you want to come with us to do it on the road? Because, again, we have a more of a wealth and an ironed out vibe that Steve and I don't yet, because we're both kind of, as much as I told you, like, the idea behind that was to not force this, where we have this a little more naturally based on not knowing each other for a decade. We're still now finding that we're forcing the other show because, like, what do you do with that idea? If you're not going to do that whole talking head, every episode's a new happening, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we're thinking, bypass it completely, have it full of things like,
what if we just send Steve? I mean, he's like,
dude, our correspondent in the field.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be good.
Make fun of him back here.
Oh,
guys, I see the footprint. Fuck off, you know, like,
dude. $1,000, by the way, says Steve's gonna hear this and be like, don't. $1,000 says Steve gets scared on location.
That's what I
before
mean.
Any of us. He likes to think
we'll send him at night.
He's gonna be so mad.
It's already scared.
Yep. Oh man, he's begging for it. That's the thing. Is like every time we talk about it, he's like,
it's like the perfect, yeah.
I don't believe, but I want something to happen, so I do. Okay, so that means you're gonna look for things happening.
What does that mean? Like, I was listening to another podcast, and they were talking about, if you see something, that means if you ask for something to happen and then it happens, or no, this is what I was thinking. I'm like, I don't believe in that shit.
Yeah.
And then if somebody was like, all right, let's do the Ouija board, I'd be like, fuck no.
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
I played with Ouija boards in graveyards.
Me too. Not in graveyards, but I played with them.
You're like, me too. Not in graveyards.
No, I didn't hear the graveyards
psychopath,
part because I'm slow. But
like, I'm not a fucking idiot.
Yeah. But nowadays, if somebody was like, no, I have a family. Fuck that. I'm not bringing something home.
I don't believe in it.
So
at
it's
all.
like, I don't believe in it. And I don't want to fuck with it.
The difference is I don't believe in it and I'll fuck with it.
Okay.
I really don't. That's what I'm saying to Steve. He doesn't listen to me. I'm like, dude, your sheer willingness and openness and want for something to happen means you believe in it to an extent.
You're going to get something.
I don't, it won't happen. That's my level of disbelief. I mean, it just, there's nothing to happen. And if something happens, I don't get freaked out because I'm not actually on the edge of that. I'm like, okay, what was that?
I want to be, yeah, exactly. I want to be like the
discernible. Think about
home
it.
Inspector guy that goes, well,
right,
this could be this.
Yeah. How many ghost stories have been just what could have been attributed to
sleeping,
radiators swelling, or in moaning and hissing, whatever they did? Yeah.
I heard a cool story today. It was a jazz musician. I forget his name because I'm dumb, but he's like famous. He wrote a book on the Ku Klux Klan. He met with the Grand Dragon or whatever.
Oh God, Grand Wizard.
Oh, the Grand Wizard. No, Dragon, I think. There's a guy called the Exalted Cyclops. That's one of the titles, apparently.
Why do they pick those names? Well, I mean, they're pretty short-sighted to begin with.
Pretty smart guys.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Fucking idiot.
And so they met in a hotel room, and he's like, I wanted to make it hospitable, so we got like the ice bucket. We got sodas for him.
Wow.
He's like, the first guy to come through the door was his bodyguard with a gun holstered on the hip. He had like the patch on his camouflage. He had the, looking real militaristic. And then he walks through the door because the guy told him the premise was, I want to return this hood to you, this Ku Klux Klan hood. And he did. He had one from somebody that he had met.
Holy shit.
The guy quit apparently because of his relationship with him. And this guy's claim to fame.
What's this guy's name?
Davis? Is his
I know this guy.
Yeah. He's like
big.
He's well known, right? He made 200 Klan members quit.
Yes, I know this guy, black guy.
Black guy.
I know this guy. He's the man.
You know
dude.
him like you know him?
No.
No.
No, I just know of him, and anyway, continue. Fantastic
anyway,
dude.
The story is amazing. So the bodyguard comes through the door. They're expecting this guy to return the hood, not a black guy.
Is this when they hear a noise and everyone jumps?
Yeah,
I know this. I know this guy. I know this story.
Yeah, okay. They hear the ice go. So I was gonna say, like, you know.
But the second, here's the funny thing.
Got shot over.
Right. The
ice
second,
melting.
all the precipice of the fear belief then was this is going to end out in a Western shootout. Black man meeting with KKK guys, the bodyguards armed. The second that was dispelled by knowing that everyone was on guard and reacting to that noise, the whole mood shifted. That's right.
They all were realized they were all scared.
Yep.
Of each other.
And that was a moment of bonding. They realized they had more in common than they thought.
He ended up stepping down and shutting the entire chapter down. His entire chapter. Yeah,
you know, this is the exact argument for openness and for relations and for doing this. Like we're like the drunk American versions of French philosophers drinking tea at a cafe. We're just fat drunk sitting in leather chairs doing the same thing.
I can't tell you how many redheaded people I've been scared of. Red bearded.
I was just saying I'm not redheaded. I love it. Everyone thinks I am. It's so bad. Dude, oh Jesus, as I knock this over. Too much Blantons. Yeah, I don't know what the hell. It must be English French. Like black and red.
Red in mine too, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what it is. Northern European. But yeah, dude, I it's gonna be fun. I'm interested to visit some of these famous, like, apparently there's like a Satan's well in Sabatis.
Wells freak me out.
I mean, yeah, because they're dangerous. They freak me out because of that. But the problem is, apparently,
and the Ring. I mean, the movie was.
What is? Oh, yeah. I remember that came out and everyone was like, "Oh, it's so bad." And then you look at it in context of what's coming out, and it's like legendary. That's pathetic. I mean, it's
it's gone.
In hindsight, it's really good.
Gone downhill.
Yeah, but I remember when it came out, I was like, "Oh, fuck this thing." You know,
all right, let's finish this point because I gotta use the urinal.
Oh, here we go. What was I saying to you? Oh, Satan's well. I think it's about us. Apparently, the legend is these kids lowered their friend down and they heard like these demonic sounds and screams.
Are we gonna lower Steve into a well?
Good luck.
Oh my!
We need to rent a crane.
We need a pulley.
Yeah, we need a couple.
Or not. Just
like. Yeah, that's right. Like, don't worry, we got you. Okay, I'm gonna just let go. Like, oh yeah, it's all good. He lets go, it falls all the way.
You tied that knot really good.
Apparently, when they pulled their buddy up, he was like an old man with white hair, tormented, soulless looking.
Where do you find these stories?
We looked them up.
Can't wait.
We're doing the work, man. We have.
Who's going down in the well?
I'll go. I'm not worried about a well.
You should go because then you'll have hair when you come up.
It might be white, but
It'll
whatever.
White.
Touch of gray. What's that called? Touch a man.
Touch a
It's called Touch a Man. Touchable man. Touch of gray.
It's Touch of Gray.
That's a bad name. Why do you want a touch of gray?
You don't.
Right. So why call it Touch of Gray? Call it Touch of Color.
It's called 50 Shades of Gray.
You're like, oh yeah, look it up.
Touch of Man. I think Touch of Man is way better.
Dude, I'm making Touch of Man.
Brand.
That's our fake ad. Nate has to take a pee break, and we'll be right back.
Oh my gosh.
If you want a water or a tea or something random, just grab it. If you don't want to, grab a beer. Oh no. Yeah, bring it in. Gummy. High protein. That's my body. You're so cute.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one.
Too much blank space between or before that sample.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one.
The DJ's fun. DJs are probably fun too, though. So, like, Sprite with, like, it takes them a second instead of, sitting down, no light. I'll be really sad if I cut this out. So we can do that. Yeah, it's pretty raw. Oddchild, Starchild. Holy God, we got to the end of the song. That's a first. Look at that beautiful. Yeah, I'll just do mine neat. Just give me, yeah. Don't leave yourself some. He's too polite. He's too nice. There you go. I still have some, yeah. What letter is that one? Is that B? Nice. Yeah, anywhere. See me go. Fenton came to say hi on break. We'll see if I edit it out or keep it in. I was mixing. I was being a DJ. I was saying it's taking you a second because you have to wipe and everything after. Because you sit down.
It takes a while to stand up at my age.
That's right. You have to get up slowly and strategically. Like, I don't want to pull something, man. Dude, I did legs for the first time. I haven't done legs in like 7 months.
Are your liver enzymes way off the charts?
Probably, but that's from doing Blanton's for the first time today.
Today.
But no, God, you know, like when you're that new sore where like everywhere the muscle connects, it's sore, like to the, bone.
Yeah.
What connects muscles? Tendons?
Tendons.
No. Is it tendons? Ligaments.
Can never remember that.
It's one of them. Whatever. Those are sore. Like
Ligaments connect
muscle to bone.
muscle to muscle.
Right.
Tendons connect to bone.
Okay. Well, someone can correct that.
Doctor.
Oh man.
So I started doing this paranormies back in the day.
What?
Nah. So there's in Wilton, the Sweden House.
Okay.
You know what that is? In East Wilton?
Is that the one down on the curve
Yeah.
where you get into town? Yeah.
By Shelley's, by your favorite
Oops.
ladies.
I need to go see them. They're my best friends.
Oh.
Just tighten that one little nut. Oh, wait, it came off the table. Hold on. Please hold, folks. I can't pause. I have to go under. Tell your story, Nate. I'll try to get this while you... I'm going to have to go way loose.
So I had a girlfriend in high school, and we were going to spend the night together.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Some
This was
paranormal happenings
This was
that night.
pre-COVID,
Pre-COVID, obviously.
This was virgin territory to be. And anyway,
To be frank, I'm
to be
Frank.
Frank.
To be Igor.
To be Igor.
I'm Frank.
I
Frank.
had not yet, done the deed.
Oh, so you were all nervous.
Yeah, so we were gonna go to the Sweden House and spend the night. So we call them. It's these old ladies that own it, and so I make a reservation.
Oh my God, you were really doing it.
We were really doing it, and then, as usual, I ruined it. I was doing it, and then I ruined it.
I've got too much shit.
Another one.
God
Another
damn,
one.
dude.
And
I'm close.
so I go.
That's what you said.
I'm close. I call him and I'm like, yeah, make a reservation. We do the whole thing. We're ready
Jesus
to go.
Christ.
And then I had to fuck it up and put my foot in my mouth and I go, oh, and by the way,
Oh, no.
is it haunted? Just hung up on me.
Oh, so you couldn't get
I
it.
should have showed up anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't.
They hung up on you because you asked if it was haunted?
Yeah,
Why?
probably because everybody asked if it was haunted.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Well,
it is?
It is, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's been closed for years, right?
Somebody bought it private, so it's like.
Oh, it's a
somebody's
house
now. I guess.
God damn.
I know. Can you
We
imagine
should
taking
talk
care
to
of that?
them.
We should.
So
You should.
I'll go
Part of
try.
this project.
Yeah, like, I will. I'll go kick it the door in and fucking.
I have a reservation from 1998.
Yeah. But like, listen, do gift cards still count when you switched ownership?
Is my reservation still good?
Yeah. Like, I never did take you up on
I
that.
never.
Like, you didn't take us. Shut up. Get out of here. Like, okay, I'll be back tomorrow. Don't come back. I also want to take calls. Steve has some apprehension, but
For paranormies or for this one?
but I wanted it. So again, because paranormies isn't as baked in my mind, and again, who the fuck am I? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is. But I want to add things to it because it needs some strength. So I was like, why don't we take some calls? Why don't we call some haunted places and see if someone will talk to us? He's like, well, what if they don't want to? I'm like, well, then it'd be funny because they'd hang up or yeah, who cares? But no, I thought about having like, apparently we think the girl from that creature,
Palmyra.
yeah, apparently like they descended on this place and like they were like on the
you
roofs.
never
and
finished this.
that's it. There's not much to it. They just, I mean, I think it was bears and they were freaking themselves out. Apparently the husband's gun was in the garage because his wife didn't let him keep it in the house.
You think bears attacked somebody's house?
I don't think anything attacked anyone's house. I think they saw animals. It might have even just been wolves. And then
Wolves? There's no wolves in Maine.
none? Really? None?
Not if you ask the biologist.
Probably
There's
not.
no
Why do I
wolves.
hear wolves? You never hear howling?
Coyotes?
Howling?
Yeah. They
No
yip.
shit.
They yip.
Oh, they're like, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I'm an idiot if that's not clear. Bears, sure. Maybe it was a mother bear with cubs, so they saw like, because like at night in the middle of a field, if you saw eyes
Yeah.
and then smaller, that could mean two things because your depth perception is impossible because you can't have any. It's dark. That could mean there's something closer and two things farther away, or it could mean a mother and two little things.
Could be one thing standing and two things laying down.
Maybe it
Could be
killed
deer in the field.
Right.
Deer.
So my thought was, if a mother thought they were a threat to cubs, she might chase and they might make it back to the house, and she might like wander around and stuff on two legs, as we know they do now.
So are you not going to tell the story right now?
That is the story. There's not much to
Who
it.
got chased?
They say that they saw the eyes because they saw something, they heard something, and they looked and they saw that in the field, and they decided they were like spooked, like what the fuck
So
is
they
that
were
thing?
outside,
Yeah.
saw the stuff in the field, and then ran.
And again, they're like, oh, it was like 10 feet tall and it had an odor.
It was Mothman.
Yeah, there was a light aura glowing off of it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not making fun of. Here I am trying to get them to call, and I'm making fun of them. I'm kidding.
That's going to be how this is, though.
Well, yeah, right.
It's going to be Steve going like, yeah, but what
That's
if?
true. That's true.
And you're going to be like, no.
Well, so anyway, they said they decided to book it. They got like let run, and they said that it closed in
Well,
like
no shit.
30.
If you run from
Yeah, right.
your
A
own
predator.
dog,
You're right.
somebody
Anything.
chased you like,
I've seen a gray
oh.
squirrel get ballsy.
Yeah, me
Chase
too.
me on a one wheel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude, they fucking don't
I
fuck
challenged
around.
one
Dude.
at a park, and it ran right up
yeah.
me and jumped off.
You've been in Boston Commons? Have you been there to see their squirrels? They'll dude, if you hold your hand out like you've got food, they're coming right up to get it.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
Well, they're
They see people all the time.
They
There's
think
no
they
there's
think they're people.
yeah, there's no fear. There's no predators in
Squirrel
that
people.
park.
Yep.
Except us. But anyway, so they said that it closed in record time. Weird, like a bear, like you hear about.
You mean like an animal outrunning you?
Right. And they got to the house, and he's like, I got to get my gun. And I told him, I'm like, this loses credibility right there. If you actually think your house is under siege by alien werewolves, you're not going to still try to get to your
Is that
barn.
what they thought it was?
Who knows? But you're not still going to, like, okay, so I love you guys, but I got to get to the barn, my garage to get my gun. Like, no, you're fine. You're safe in the house. Sit down. Like, if you're willing to do that, that tells me right there you're not that scared.
What do you call that?
Adrenaline.
No, your safety area.
My house?
No, like when you're
Safe haven?
a monster's chasing you,
FOB?
You
Forward
get to
operating
get-
base? I don't know.
and you have to get to
Cover. You're like, that works, but not what I was going to say.
Gould's.
The gas station? What?
I never thought of that.
Steve's family?
Gould's. You never had to get to Gould's?
Goulds?
Yeah.
Are you saying Steve's last name?
No?
What are you saying?
I'm saying Gould's.
Goons.
Gould.
Goons? What the fuck? Ghouls? Like a ghost?
No, man.
Ghouls?
When we were little, and your safe spot, like if you're playing a game and somebody's the monster, you had to get to Gould's.
I've never heard of that.
Maybe it's I don't know.
I almost just made an incredibly insensitive joke and then I didn't do it.
You got to get to Gould's. This is Gould's. You can't. Nope. Some
So-
people call it something different, but I forget what
Weird.
it's called.
How have I never heard of that? Age gap.
Yeah.
Mm.
Gould's.
But that was really it. They heard him on the roof.
So you're at Gould's in your house for you.
Oh, yeah.
That's Gould's. Like,
Well, I
aliens
mean-
can't get you at Gould's.
Life schools for this kid. And it's going to get me, period.
Now this.
I'm going to be abducted tomorrow and I'm going to be like, catatonic, like, what's wrong with him? But like, I don't know.
Didn't get the gold.
But I just, apparently he looked up what we think is at the time, this was in like 05, she was 17. And now would be in her 30s, and someone with the same name from Palmyra is friends with his sister who lives in Chelsea, which is like 2 towns away.
Yeah.
So we're pretty sure that's her. So I'm like, reach out, bro. Be a producer. Let's line it up. Have her call in.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. And I love this too, and he knows this. He knows Steve can take anything because he dishes it, and he's good about that. Obviously, he knows we're fucking with him, but I kind of I mean, I have this too, I guess, so I can't say that. But I love this about Steve. He wants to do like on the ground, go talk to them, film that, cut into segments of it during our podcast. And I'm like, that would be great, but that is so much work. Like that is like full production work. Like it's a lot easier to have them just call and record them on the phone track. Like that's so much easier. Or, I mean, maybe down the road have them come in for a sit down with us and stuff. But definitely. For now, I mean, they could start with that. Like in my search for this, right? Well, back when I was working for with an artist on Bad Boy Entertainment, P. Diddy's company, there were a lot of like local girls running around, not in a bad way. I mean, funny enough, most of them were literally just friends would peace out at like dark. They would just come hang. Cool house in Turner, Maine.
Oh, in Maine. Yeah.
All these guys from all over. I mean, the one was from LA, one was from Baltimore, one was from Chicago. I was from Farmington. The artist.
Turner?
Yeah. They rented this fucking beautiful lake house. Beautiful. Grotto, pool. Beautiful. Never even knew houses like that existed.
In Maine.
In Turner. I know they're in Maine. Turner.
Right next to DeCosta's.
Right next to Bear Pond Variety. Right on that road where you take that shuts off. Yeah. It's a beautiful house.
Isn't
they
where
ruined
Tucker
it.
Carlson is moving to, like right there.
Oh, probably. He'll fit in. No, I'm kidding. I love my Turnerians. Anyway, so she used to hang out with us. And I'm looking on YouTube. I'm like, Maine Urban Legends, right? I'm not kidding. Like 5 or 6 down, I see Alexa Shintel. I can't remember her. She doesn't use her full name. It's like a stage name. It might be first and middle or whatever.
That was the artist?
No, this was one of the girls that used to come hang.
Oh.
And I was like, wait a minute. That can't be her. I watched one video. Nice intro too. Like really well produced. She must have bought it from somewhere. Had it plugged in. Whatever. Had someone make it on Fiverr. I don't know. And it's her. And she has a YouTube channel that every episode she talks about a Maine myth or urban legend.
Oh.
So like,
so
dude.
her on.
Yes, 100%. So I might, because she knows me, I don't know. I mean, she probably wouldn't care. She's really cool. But I'm like, maybe for a first guest from me, I could do the For the Record show because I have no episodes yet. I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, some copy of this with other people, interesting people, Travis Mills, Spose. I mean, like cool people.
Travis Mills has a music connection or no?
No, just a buddy of mine, and he's well known.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I feel like he could.
I'd
get
like to
views.
meet him. I've heard he's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
First of all,
yeah.
I'd like to sit in.
Yeah, I just saw him. He did one of the guest spots on CMI the other 2 Mondays ago. But he used to, and I followed his stuff forever too before he blew up in popularity.
This is what happens
Hold
to
on,
him.
that's not what the fuck I meant.
So this is what happens to him: is people
here's the difference.
Try to avoid saying shit like that, and then they say it, and he fucking just rips them up.
Well, the other thing is,
one.
I've never seen Travis. I've never seen someone more funny and be able to take any bad situation they're in with more levity than him. He is so funny. We're talking on the mic.
You just said it. You just gave a real example of what he would have just.
Oh, he would have ran up and down me. I'd have been beat red. But this guy, he's on the mic and he's talking to someone and he said, I don't remember what he said. He said something and they're like, he's like, I know what you're thinking. You're like, I wish. What did he say? I wish the bomb took all of you. And everyone's like, oh, in the crowd, like, what the fuck? And he's like, I'm just kidding. My teachers didn't say that. That was my mom. And it's just like, he just doesn't care. He's so funny. He's so funny.
Somebody said, he went to the middle school, and somebody was like, we like the way you recovered. You got off on the right foot or something like that. And
oh God,
he was just like, just deadpan. I'm like,
I don't have feet. Yeah, he's the man, dude. He's such a good dude too. Great heart. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
But he came to like the CD release party back in the day. He's friends with all the Valleys, like good friends. Chris is like, he said 2 Mondays ago, Chris Valley is the reason my charity has a home.
Oh, really?
Chris went out on a limb for him, got him that loan that Travis says he shouldn't have had at that stage, and Chris made it happen. I mean, good dudes. I mean, there's a connection of guys there that are just great guys. Anyway, he'd be a good guest. He's funny.
Oh my God.
He's known, you know. But like the other thing is, if I feel like a guest works really well, again, because we're kind of, what's weird is our show is ending up kind of being the like on the ground, and like we're talking about all this stuff. Like we should be talking about this after the show.
Yeah.
Like this is production stuff. But who gives a fuck? It's fun. People like that stuff. Like we're in an era where anyone with an iPhone can have a production studio. So whatever.
You know, you want to be part of the conversation. That's one of the reasons I like listening to podcasts is I feel like I'm hanging out with people that, you know,
vicarious existence. Yeah. But podcasts have helped me through some unbelievably bad times because it feels like you've got people when you don't, with no tie, you know, with no responsibility to that.
I don't owe you anything.
Yeah. They don't even know you're there. You're just a fly on the wall productions, fly on the wall studios.
That's a thing already.
It's gotta be. They are all a thing. We're gonna have to call it something really stupid, really arbitrary. But anyway, so I thought she might be a good first guest for me, because how am I going to pitch this to people that have followings? They're like, dude, you don't even have an episode yet of my own thing. Like, I'm going to come, like, they could watch this and be like, I get that vibe. I need to do something so they can start that. But if she was comfy enough because she knows me to do mine, then I could have her come back with me and Steve, and we could talk about paranormal stuff. Yeah. I might ask her about, you know, what are the challenges facing a new channel from someone that doesn't have production experience. That's a cool topic.
There you go.
What have you found? Like, do you have any tips?
Oh.
I just replicated it. A ghost just shit himself. Dude, this leather.
I can't.
It's because I'm clammy.
I got enough.
Dude, yeah, I think it's fun. I think those 3 shows, though, not to toot our own horn again and get people, but I think Paranormies, Into the Layers, For the Record, which is still a working title. I'm not sold on that.
I like For the Record.
It has a nice, like, double entendre, like it's journalistic. Like it'll be, I got to stop bringing him up, but he's the easiest. The funny thing is I say that like self-consciously when Rogan is like the most famous podcast. He's a reference now. He's so big. But it's going to be kind of a clone of that, like an interview, one-on-one, fun, lighthearted. So For the Record has that journalistic thing, but it's also a record. I'm a musician.
Right.
Like it's...
Well, Rogan's genius in that he avoids having to do... I mean, I'm sure he still does a ton of research, but he avoids that liability of saying dumb shit because he's got the expert there.
That's true.
He bounces it off them, or they say it. He's no like...
yeah, I think the only reason I like that is I talk too much, as we know, and I'm a super empath. Like, I don't have to look up your shit. I can find things in that we can genuinely talk about for an hour. I'm confident of that. I've spent my life doing it, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it would work, but we'll see.
We do that. We don't look.
That's our whole thing. The whole brand of ours.
I did look you up before this one, actually.
Yeah, talking about our description, what it might be. That is part of it on the fly. Like we're just whatever comes. It's cool. I think we take an interesting take. Hopefully, we'll find out. Let us know. Comment. Like, I'm not worried.
Give me a call.
I am very worried. Call Nate. We'll put his personal cell phone number in the description.
Do you remember when you could call? Oh, two phone call things. So today, you saying taking calls.
Yeah.
The phone rang at my inspection today.
Yeah.
The landline.
In the house? There's people have landlines?
It was surreal.
Dude, I'm not even being funny. I don't remember the last time I saw a landline. And if I had to guess, it would be, I'm not even kidding, 15 years ago.
I make a habit of, just for nostalgia, or if I see a phone, and I don't do it every time now because normally they're dead, but I'll pick them up to see if I get the dial tone.
I love you.
Oh,
you just go to houses every time you see a phone. What the fuck? I wouldn't even look at it. It's one of those things like they're so out of your existence you don't see them.
It's like the past. I'm like, does that thing still work?
You're like, no
I want
way.
to hear the, you know, the
oh
noise.
yeah.
So it rang today, and I was just like,
when you get sad, do you go on YouTube and look up the dial tone of dial-up internet? You're like, I just need nostalgia. Oh, wait a minute. I was making a shitty joke and I missed
on there. That should be
the dial tone.
The thing.
You know, we're like, we should pull that shot in closer so we don't have to see our legs.
Let me see. Let me show
Dude, these
you
are
my
so
legs.
uncomfortable.
What is?
My $20
Your
zero
legs?
gravity chairs are more comfortable than these.
They do make you kind of like.
The
Pushing
run's
your
too
butt
long.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I didn't like. I didn't like that shot.
Don't research before you just buy shit. Try chairs. God damn it. This is the problem with
Is this offline?
yeah. That's the problem with like instant gratification shit. Oh, I can get it in 2 days and I have a client. This was for a big client in the studio. I was like, my studio's, I love it, but it's geared for making music. It's not made for big clients. Like I was working with singer-songwriters that don't give a fuck. These guys, big money guys, I'm like, we need that typical studio couch. You know what I mean? That's behind the mix desk. I was like, fuck it, let's do chairs in case we do a podcast. This was like 2 years ago, a year and change. It's a cool setup. It looks nice. You know, I like the shot, but
it's not that uncomfortable. We sat here for 3 hours last time.
Literally. Yeah.
It wasn't like we were hurting.
Dude, this is an hour and 30. This is a nightmare. Because I love it. It's just this weird, like,
it's gotta
double-edged
be tough
sword.
for you because you're like, I have to do the rest of this.
I just know what that other file was, an hour and 30. But I hate it because, like, when you're on a roll and you're having fun, you don't want to stop. It's fun. It's gratifying.
We can cut it.
You know what we should have done? You know what we should, maybe, again, I should probably not say this on camera. I've thought about this, though, going forward. We should bank episodes. So, like, if we want to do that, we should stop this one.
And just start.
And we should do another one and have two.
Do it. Stop it.
You want to do another one?
Try it.
We'll get a fresh pour and do another hour one?
Yeah.
1 hour?
Yes.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Our brand is going to be this. Why don't we commit? If you're cool with this, because I want your say on this too in production as a producer.
I do.
I like being open. I like talking to people, even if it's like 3 right now.
Except that guy.
Yeah, whoever this
I don't
dickhead
like that
running the
guy.
phone is. No, but seriously, I like the premise and I like keeping the brand of just being straight up. Like, so what? You know what? Now, it's so funny that we used to think we could trick people into, if we change our shirts, they'll think it's another day. Like, dude, I know when it's not another day.
My beard's the same like.
Yeah, it's so obvious though. Like everything about it. Like my favorite podcast is when they're banking episodes. You can tell. Like every Monday when it comes out.
I never paid attention to that.
See, maybe I just think of that and then I expect everyone else to. But there's some where it's pretty obvious, and some don't even change their shirt.
I don't watch podcasts though.
Oh, you listen. See, that's right.
That's hard to tell.
Listen, this has been a great episode. We are telling you right now we're about to do another one. I want to say one thing. First and foremost, I have waves. We both know that. I'll say that in a quick summary. Even working on the bull that I had to wrangle, that was the last podcast, and how much bullshit that was. It was tough to get that to work. I mean, I literally fist fought that thing for like 3 days, missing other stuff to get it done because it just wouldn't behave.
The one we did.
Yeah, that 2 hour and 40 minute one that they'll know about if they're hearing this one because it'll be out. Even then, knowing that we would do this was a breath of fresh air, and you were a part of that. And cheers to
cheers, man.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
that.
I think we're on the right track. And again, you know me, and you're learning me very well that I'm a very manic, worrisome guy, and I am not worried, and I am not overly manic, unnecessarily manic about this show at all. Actually, this show is like giving my idea of the channel hope because it's like it's I like it. But I'm an egomaniac, so what do I know?
I'm an Igor maniac, so.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Drop a comment if you agree or disagree or you want to elaborate on one of the cool points below. Even if Nate's not logged in, he can certainly check in and see and jump in on some fun conversations. Hit that subscribe button if you like what we're doing.
Smash it.
Smash it if you're into that. And I have been Frank.
And Igor.
And we will see y'all next time.
Oh.
Behind the scenes, you're in it, baby.